All right, we good? We live?
We live.
Damn. We back.
Back in this thing. Feels good.
It feels weird. I wasn't ready to start recording yet.
Yeah. The time was heavy had to come though. I don't know when, but it was definitely coming. Felt like it was gonna be when it was necessary.
Yeah.
I feel really serious today. I just want to tell y'all. I came in really calm and, you know, motivated to just really get some shit off. Hopefully y'all can get y'all shit off too.
Mm-hmm.
First, this is no apology.
Yeah, I was trying to find my window. So welcome back.
Already ready?
He was like, yeah, like, yo, so first off, first things first. fuck your niggas and the bitch you claim. I was like, yo. Whoa. All right. Welcome
Who's
back.
here, man? Who's here?
Welcome back to No Apology. I'm Lewis. Shaq is here. Tyler is here.
Tyler's here.
Old crew back again.
Facts.
New setting. Thought I'd switch it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Give us a table to lean on. I thought the chair setup was kind of getting awkward.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we back, I don't know what episode this is. We just gonna let it rock. Maybe we're starting over. I don't know. Whatever. But here we are. So Shaq, you know what I'm saying? What's up, man? Wait, hold on. How you doing? How have you been? We haven't. I mean, we've seen each other since our last episode, but how, you know?
I'm good.
How you doing?
We can get to that. We gonna get to that.
Right.
I want to start off on a serious note because I want everybody to talk about, you know, where they at now and shit.
All right, Tyler, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. You know.
You straight? All right, Tyler got his Darko hoodie on today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Rapping.
Shout out.
You get compliments on it yet? All the time, right? It's weird.
Yo, people fuck with this joint.
Yeah, I get a lot of compliments on it. Everybody that has one always tells me like, "Yo, mad people compliment me on the hoodie." Like, it's crazy. Yeah. All right. Well, what's up? Shaq came in and said, "Yeah, some shit to get off." So
Yeah, I wanted to.
the floor is open.
I wanted to discuss mental health. I wanted to talk about that. It's funny because we've been had that topic written down.
Yeah.
And
sorry,
we never spoke on it, but I feel like why not do it now? We didn't really come in with a topic.
Yeah.
But
It's a good time.
Yeah. I don't know really where to start, but I guess the first question I could ask is, why is it ignored? I mean, even if you're not black, I'm just gonna speak for black men because we all black in here. So I just want to ask, like, with black men, why do y'all feel like mental health is ignored in our community?
I think that it's ignored. I think it's ignored in our community because we ignore it ourselves. We're raised to, you know, I think it has a lot to do with just that. A lot of cultures that, like, you know, outside of America, right? Like a lot of, like, you know, Hispanic cultures, etc. You know, everybody, a lot of people that I know from Africa, a lot of people that I know from, you know, just anywhere else, it's always like the mental, like it doesn't exist almost. Like the idea of therapy almost feels like it's American or it's like European. Like it's not a thing. It's always like, oh, like if you're feeling a certain type of way, you just, you know, there's different. It's just not attacked in that, and it's not taken care of in the way that it is for a lot of people that don't ignore it. That, you know, in communities where it's like, oh, you need to go see a therapist. That's never been said, in, you know, to me growing up, or to anyone that I knew growing up. But I think a lot of it comes from that bravado of like, you're a man, like, you know what I'm saying, you're supposed to handle your shit.
Most definitely.
You know, like, you know, you don't, you know, you get over it. You know, that whole kind of thing, or, you know, there's people living a worse life than you. Like,
I know for me personally, like, I didn't grow up knowing like the issues that I dealt with until I got older and like being around people. And I think with the topic, I want to address the topic, but I also want to live some of my truth with it too, because I want to like basically remove my mask, because I've been not hiding what I've been going through, but I've been trying to mask it just to feel secure with myself, ironically, and it doesn't really help. I feel like me speaking on how I feel and handle my shit, I feel like it'll help a lot of people. I didn't grow up knowing that I was like depressed or even going through anything mentally, but when I was diagnosed, I didn't look at it like it was something that I could overcome. I look at it like I'm stuck with it forever. So I feel like a lot of times when people don't want to go to the doctors or get help or get therapy, is because you think that you might get stuck in that realm, or you might get put on medication and fucking be crazy and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I think it has to be addressed. I look at kids our age having kids and they're depressed. The kids, they're getting put into the cycles that they were in as kids. Because I know myself, I don't know about y'all. I know a lot of my friends, they don't have perfect families. They're blended families. It might be living with just their mom, just their dad. My mom specifically, like, she, after her and my dad split, like she had a real hate for my dad, you know? She didn't want me to hate my dad, but that hate that she had for him, it fell back on me, just because parents, you know, when you want to speak about this person, they don't want you to look at them in a good light just because they're hurt by that person. And you don't really see as a parent how you affect the kids and how you can manipulate a child just to like not like their parent. And just for me specifically, I know that is something that I've dealt with, like, growing up. Yeah. I've hated my dad for reasons that had nothing to do with me. So there's a lot of times, like, you know, you really have to be able to, and it's hard because as a kid, you don't want to like disagree with your parents. You don't want to look at your parents like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, but I think it's a good time to really like question shit. Like, we don't question enough. We don't ask ourselves, like, you know, is everything okay with me? Like, you wait until somebody asks you, are you all right? And then you want to, you know, blur everything out. But it's all right to be, you know, not all right. It's all right to be upset with things. It's all right to, like, not feel yourself.
It's normal. Yeah,
it's completely normal. But I'm tired of it being ignored. I'm tired of even people like holding it as a crutch. Like, oh yeah, I'm depressed, I can do whatever I want. Nah. The point of being diagnosed is like when you get diagnosed with cancer, people don't just sit around and die. Yeah. They do everything in their power to overcome it. And I feel like it needs to be addressed. Like, it just has to be.
Yeah.
We ignore it. And even with relationships, bro, like, people you get depressed and you get diagnosed with this depression, and you don't even realize how you hurt people, how you hurt your friends, how you hurt women. Like me, and I can say this now, I know I've hurt a lot of people, bro. I've hurt a lot of people. Just simply being depressed, not even knowing, like, yo, I'm hurt, and fuck you. Right. You don't see that I'm hurt. You expect people to feel, you know, that you hurt just because you wear it so well. You know, you wear this shit every day. You expect people to know, like, yo, I'm fucking hurting, bro. Like, ask me, am I all right? Right. When that person you see every day don't ask you, then it's like, you know, do they really care about you? But those moments where they do ask you, it's like, all right, part of you might care, but part of you don't. And you don't even know that you don't even really value yourself enough to, like, walk away from some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think but it's funny. I always see that in a lot of people, even people that don't even identify the fact that they feel those things. Yeah, you know, like they kind of, you know, submerge it so deep where, you know, you never see them in that state, or they don't even know they're in that state. Like they go to sleep fine and they think they're fine. Yeah, but there'll be there's triggers. You know what I mean? I think everyone has those psychological triggers that can activate anything in you, whether good or bad, and like it's crazy. It's fun. It's crazy the thing that you described about your parents when they split, because my parents split when I was young, and I remember like a year ago I was having a conversation with someone where he divorced, him and his wife divorced, and they had a child together, and I guess his child was having issues in school,
Mm-hmm.
and he was explaining to me that he was expressing to me that they were white. They took their son to a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, what's going on with him? I think because the school said he had like a learning disability or something like that, and they were like, nah, like I don't think so. So they took him to a psychologist.
So they tried to like give him ADHD or something like that.
Yeah, they were trying to put that on him, but he's like, I don't like my son doesn't show signs of that. Like I think like I didn't hear about that till I took him to school. You know, so they took him, and the doctor comes out after speaking to the son. Doctor comes out with both parents, and both parents are divorced now. And he sits down both of them, and he goes, he talks to him first, the guy that I was talking to. That she goes, you guys are split up. Do you ever speak poorly about his mother in front of him? And he goes, no, there's no reason to. Like, that's his mother. Like, I want him to respect his mother, love his mother. Like, I'm not gonna,
that's the common
make
answer.
his mother,
Common answer. Yeah.
And she's like, okay. And he goes to the mother, and she goes, do you ever speak poorly of him in front of your son? She goes, every moment I get, every chance I get, every chance that I get, I speak poorly about him because he's an asshole. He's a piece of shit. And the doctor goes, okay, I understand that. That's like, I understand that you're upset. I understand how you both feel. And the doctor asked them, pretty much says, how do you think that affects your son? Because what you're doing when you do that is you're actively telling your son that half of him is worthless. That half of him doesn't matter. Half of him isn't important. Half of him is a piece of shit, asshole, worthless. That's what you're telling that's what you're telling him when you talk about him that way, because as a child, you're going to view, I'm half that and half that. So when one of them is like, yo, the other half is garbage, bro, you're going to take that in. You're going to take that in, and now you wear that. I remember growing up, and my parents arguing, and it was the same situation. Yeah. And I don't blame the adult. I don't blame them in the situation, because if I never heard that, I wouldn't have thought that. Like, that was my first time hearing that and going, holy shit, I never even looked at it that way. You know what I mean? Because I went through it, and it made me think a lot about my life and who I am, because I remember growing up and my mother saying, like, your dad's this, your dad's that, your dad's that. And, just even them argue, you know what I mean? It's like something's wrong here.
You never know what, like, even your parents went through before they even met.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot of things.
There's a lot. They're people. Like, but when you're a kid, they're superheroes.
That's a fact.
So it's almost like at that point, when that happens, it's like, okay, one of you is a villain and one of you is the hero.
I'm telling you,
and you pick a side. It's almost like you pick sides, and they tell you, oh, you don't have to pick sides, but like you do. Like when you're a kid, everything's black and white. Nothing's gray. There's no gray area. Everything's mixed in. Everything's all the same. Everything's not the. Everything. It's either one or the other, and it fucks you up psychologically later. And I think that's a big reason, especially because around the time we were growing up, that was one of the highest divorce rates ever, and now people just aren't getting married. But at that time, people were getting married and being like, oh, fuck this shit, and they would split, and then there's kids, and the kids are the fallout from that situation. We end up being the fallout from the situations, and I think that's a big reason why I know we identify, because we not the same things, but we identify with certain things because our lives went to a path where we view family a certain way, we view relationships a certain way, I view women a certain way, and I know that I do because my father feared it when I was a kid, and I didn't understand when I was a kid, but I remember him telling me, I am so sorry about this situation, and I hope that it doesn't affect your future relationships with women. I hope that this situation doesn't change the way that you view women. I hope it doesn't change the way you view your mother. This is something between me and her. But even with that being said, it did.
Bro.
It did.
I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
I love my mother dearly, bro.
Yeah.
Dearly.
Me too.
But it's like you have to come to terms with some things, and like I realized later on that she doesn't know, but I was pretty much manipulated to believe that my dad was something that he wasn't. Everything that he did to her, it was a part of their relationship. They were young couples. They were like our age. We young. We still do dumb shit.
Right.
But the things that he did with her, it has nothing to do with me. Those things, whatever he might have done, if whatever with other women, that it could never relate to me because I'm a child. I'm his child.
Yeah.
I'm not a woman. I'm not somebody he's gonna be in a relationship with.
Right.
And that it trickles down to relationships because to the point where you try to be so much better than the person, not knowing that no matter what, you're still part of them is still a part of you. Mm-hmm. You're half of that person regardless. So you can try to be the best you until you realize some of the characteristics that you get from your dad or from your mom. So I just know, speaking like the girls that I've been with, the girls that know me the most, they've heard me, talk about my dad. They've heard me say things. They've heard me say how my mom has talked about my dad. So I feel like it's just more so important to just have conversations with your parents. Don't just let people say things and you just move about things based on what people say. Question things. If you having trouble with understanding, seek help. I feel like we fear seeking help with mental health because we're ashamed. We don't know how things are going to end, but it's like it's worse for people that are introverted because you feel depressed and then you already don't like being around people. You're comfortable, closed up inside. It'll never help that way.
A lot of it comes from those situations.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of that introversion comes from being through experiencing that at an early age and going, "Oh, I'm safe in my room."
Yeah,
I get to sleep here. That kind of, I can escape.
I've been dealing with this like up until like this point, but I just know at this point right now, like, and that's why I said I know it would have been important for us to talk about this at some point. But I know for me today, like I'm completely over it. I'm over like trying to fight with myself because it literally feels like that Spider-Man movie, like when the venom, the skin of venom is trying to come on the Spider-Man. Like you're fighting yourself with this shit that doesn't belong to you. Like I'm wearing scars and fear and battles that are not mine. Things that other people feel about other people, it has nothing to do. I have a life to live myself.
Facts.
And not to sound harsh, but when my parents are gone, they're still going to feel the things that they feel for each other, but that doesn't have to affect me. It doesn't have to affect you. It doesn't have to affect you. It doesn't have to affect anybody on the cameras. Right. Like I feel like it's a time right now. Like and I'm not saying that because it's 2019. Fuck the year. Like I just feel like it's time. People are having all these kids, bringing these kids into these situations that they're in. The kids they don't even end up with the baby, the baby's mother, automatically put in the same situations they were in. It's a wreck, bro. It's a wreck. We gotta do better.
Yeah, we do, and I think it's healthy. I think I'm glad that you brought this up because it's a conversation that needs to be had. I have this conversation in private with a lot of different people that don't identify a lot of times. People don't really realize how much what they've experienced coming up affects who they are today. Yeah. Like when you ever have to ask yourself, well, why do I do this? Why do I like what I like? Why am I into this stuff? Look back at your upbringing. And not in a blame, not in pointing fingers kind of way, but look back at how you got to this point. Look back at your life experiences. It's not always about fault, but it's about situation. Just identifying situations, identifying, wow, this is why I don't like this because this happened, or this is why I love this because this happened, or this is why I feel, this is why I do this because this is what I did when that was going on. Like identify those moments in your life. Self-reflection is so important in growth,
accountability.
So look at yourself. Look at what you did. A lot of people don't even look at what they did. Right. I watched the interview with Mike Tyson the other day that happened on Joe Rogan, and Mike Tyson, one of the craziest, baddest motherfuckers to ever live. Right. And Mike was so clear. He was so like, I can't even talk about fighting. Like, I'm cool. Like, I know what I was insane. I was a monster. I was programmed. I was a beast.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't even work out because it brings it back. Anytime I work out and I do something where I feel like I could do this better than everybody, he's right back in it, you know? But he connected his fighting ability, his talent, that mental thing that he had with fighting, with wanting to just destroy people in the ring. He connected that with drugs. So to him, fighting is like, oh, that's a gateway to coke. That's a gateway to doing drugs again, because, you know, but back in the day, I mean, we all saw we also know who Mike Tyson is. We saw what he did. We saw who he was. Motherfucker was wild. Beast, the greatest of his time. Wild, did some crazy shit. It was all connected.
Yeah.
And it took him to sit back and go, whoa, all right, who am I? And look at that stuff and go, this is all connected. This is who I am. That's who I was. I'm going to forget about that and I'm going to become a new person. I'm going to change. I'm going to move forward. And to now where, you know, he owns his own businesses. He's doing great. And you could just see the clarity that he has on himself and who he is as a person. And he has control over his mind. And it's impressive. It's crazy to see. And that's the results of being able to look at yourself, really look at yourself. Like what you said before we turned the cameras on, we're like, man, you could look in the mirror and never, you know, you never see yourself the way other people do. But man, I used to ignore how people would talk about me until I started to really pay attention and be like, yo, people know when people tell you who you are, yo, they're probably right. They're probably right. Even if you don't feel like you're right, even if you don't feel like they're right, they're probably right. They're probably right because they're not making it up. They're not delusional. They're seeing something. Even if it's not you, what they saw was real. That doesn't have to define you. But what they saw in you was real. I've done fucked up shit around people that have never seen me before that fucked up shit and never seen me after the fucked up shit. And I will always be the fucked up shit that they saw.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean that's who I am.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when you were speaking about it earlier, I started to think about redemption. And I started to think about a lot of the stuff that's going on in culture today with like cancel culture and all this shit, and how like there's no room for redemption. There's no room for forgiveness,
yeah.
which with some people I understand. Like there's certain people I would never forgive in life. Yeah. You know, that's people's choice, whatever. But I think as a society, it's so we so quick to kill people for doing things that they did was wrong. You know, everybody knows it's wrong. You did something wrong. There's things that are really, really wrong, and then there's things that are like, yo, that was kind of fucked up, bro. Like that's kind of unacceptable. And then you go, yo, I'm changed, but it's like that's all you can say. Yeah. You know, or you can be changed and never do it again, but like people are always going to remember you for that. And that, I think that kind of also plays a role in a lot of just people's actions. We don't identify who we are, so we keep doing shit that just doesn't. We don't see an end game. You know. And I know we're speaking from an adult perspective, but anybody, if you're not an adult, if you're, you know, you're still young, if you're still a teenager, you're still in school or whatever, like look at who you are, identify that and just take note. Just be wary of who you are. Just be wary of your reputation. You know, it's easy to fall into these depressive states today because we're looking at people's lives that are so much better than ours or appear so much better than ours on the internet. We hear about a whole bunch of people talking shit on the internet. The internet it makes us very vulnerable emotionally as a people, and that's where you see a lot of people exposing how they really feel. And I'm not going to ignore the fact that is connected to why a lot of people are having mental health issues or even identifying it today, you know, for the good and the worst. But man, it's all connected. You just have to identify the difference between you and everything else, and then identify who you are, and just be mindful. Write it down. Like just be very mindful of who you are. I think that we forget who we are. We forget that we're here. Yeah. A lot of people live a life and don't realize they're alive. It's almost like they're living in like they feel like they're living in this. Like I'm just off the shits. Like you only live once. Like you don't even realize you're alive. Like you're living a life. Like it's okay. You're gonna be cool. Like just identify that. Identify that you're alive, and then move forward. Because there was moments I only say that because that's what I had to tell myself. Yeah. When I get to my depressive states, I have to tell myself like, yo, you alive. Right. You're alive. You're here right now. Right. You are here right now. You're doing shit. You're moving. You're breathing. You're here. Like look around. Look at you. What did you do today? What did you do yesterday? What have you done this year?
Yeah.
Identify yourself. What did you do wrong? What did you do right? And reevaluate. Audit your life. Audit yourself for a second. Takes once. You'll feel better. You'll feel great. You'll see really who you are. And don't do it pessimistically.
Right.
It's easy to look at everything you've done wrong or everything that anyone has done wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Look at who you are totally.
Yeah.
A lot of people get depressed. They get into a lot of depressive states because they're, they think I'm nothing. I'm a piece of shit. What's the value here? I'm not good enough. That's huge. I'm not good enough. When I've met like celebrities or like famous people or shit like that, and I'm like, this person's just a person.
Yeah.
It crashes into you real quick at that moment. If anyone's ever met a celebrity, like really met not like, can I take a picture with you when they're dead?
But you see him and it's
really
just
like I've met celebrities, never took a picture, just chop it up with them real quick.
Facts.
And when you get to those moments, you have those moments, that's just, A$AP Rocky's just a dude.
Yeah.
So-and-so is just a person. She's just a woman. That's just a lot. Like, you know what I'm saying? She smells. I smelled her. Like, he smelled, you know what I mean? Like, like, we're all people. Like, there is no God. Like, there is no, like, God figure walking the earth that's better than everyone that's shitting on niggas and flexing on you. That's not how it works. You're here.
Yeah.
You have your life. You have your path. It's going to be different from everyone else. Evaluate your life. Evaluate what you've gone through. There's going to be things that you need to heal within yourself before you can battle the powers and forces that be.
I know, like, we can't speak from a total, like, a child perspective, like a young, like, when you're first born. So I think, like, right now, how do y'all feel as though, because everybody's been depressed in this room, like, how do y'all feel as though, like, depression has affected relationships? Like, if y'all have anything that y'all would like to share just to, like, help anybody. Because I don't think people really understand how, like, their depression affects not only themselves, but, like, being around other people. I don't think people understand that.
I get depressed. It affects everybody around me. Shut down.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, y'all know me. I wear my emotions on my face.
Yeah.
So, like,
Speak up. Sorry.
I feel as though when I'm depressed, I get, like, real pessimistic. Nothing is what it should be. I think the biggest thing about me when I get depressed, I'm more tough on myself than necessary. I kind of try to refocus it and use it in a positive aspect. But even when I start doing that, I'm like, damn, I feel like this anyway. So then I'm right back into the cycle of pushing myself deeper into depression. With me, I just have to kind of like isolate myself. Like, that bothers people. People like, what's wrong? Maybe we can help. And it's like, nah, I don't want your help. I just want to be alone.
Yeah.
I want to, like, figure out how to control my emotions.
I know that in a matter of my relationships, it has that masculine aspect of, like, my life, that being a man, that part of it always comes in a relationship. A lot of times in my experiences, a woman is telling you, like, be a man.
Yes.
Like, be a man about yours. Like, like, we heard all the shit.
Get into
all
it,
the shit.
bro.
But what's funny is we created it.
Yeah.
The woman didn't create that. We created it. Be a man about yours.
Go ahead,
be a man. Hold it down. Put the family on your shoulders. Put shoulders. You know what I'm saying? Everything is carry me. Take care of me.
Yeah.
And, I'll take care of you. But taking care of you is like material things, right? Like cooking, sex. These things don't solve mental issues. These things don't solve life problems, right? If that was the case, we'd have world peace.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep it at.
Right.
That's not a woman's fault, but it's a lot of it is the man's fault. A lot of it is our fault for having the toxic masculinity of just being like, I don't need help. And that is always affected me in every relationship.
Right.
But I'm lucky enough. I had one relationship early on where a girl was like, I remember I was going through some shit. I didn't want to talk about it, and it bothered the girl so much that she, like, she tried to leave my house. She broke down, started crying, tried to leave my crib, and I was like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, it came out of nowhere. I'm thinking she's fucked up, And I go to talk to her when she was trying to leave, and she's like, yo, like you don't express yourself. I'm trying to get through, and I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
I can't talk to you. And that was the first time that I had to be like 19, 20. And that was the first time that I realized, like, damn, I feel like I get into places where I feel like it's my problem. I'll handle it myself.
Right.
And I don't want to talk about it. It even got to a point where it disturbs my music. To this day, it disturbs my music to where it's like, I'm not going to talk about my problem. I'm not going to complain. It'd be like, I don't want to complain.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not going to complain on a track.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a man. I'm going to handle it. And then if I want to talk about it after I handle it, I handle it. I don't talk about it in the moment. And it's crazy coming from me. I know me, I'm very personable. I'm a person that, very much so expresses myself through my music. I put it all out there, but it's the matter of when I do it. And I don't do it. And music is very therapeutic for me. I can feel bad about something, make a record and feel great, where I wouldn't even do that. I would just hold it, fix it, try to figure it out, or just work through it, or try to process it without talking about it with someone that may know the answers. You'd be surprised what people go through, especially women. Listen, bro, women have a lot of answers that we don't think they have as men because of the issues that we deal with. Every time in the past few years, every time I've had a big issue, has never been a man that he was like, yo, for real, what it is this. And they tell me what it is, and then I feel better after. It's usually a woman where I have a conversation with them and they're like, well, you probably never thought about it like this. You probably never viewed it like this, or you don't view yourself like this, or you haven't identified you know, self-reflection. A woman's going to tell you who you are as a man.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? And a lot of times as a man, you want to shun it. In a relationship, you're like, nah, like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're seeing a piece of me. Like, you're like, yo, you fucked me, so you think you could talk to me like that. Yeah. You get into that kind of, like, you get macho, you get start beasting up, you start to get your testosterone goes crazy, and it blocks you from healing. And that's how I've experienced those situations in relationships with women. I've dealt with those situations with my guys, but like, I feel like we don't talk about that. Well, we do.
Yeah, we do.
More so than we used to, but that's been a thing for most of my life. I wouldn't talk to niggas about my problems. Yeah. I wouldn't talk to my friends about my problems. Like, I would talk to them about the problems after it's over.
Yeah, but you're more comfortable with talking to a woman just because they're more nurturing. Men, you don't really know where to go. You don't know who they'll understand.
It's like an ego clash.
Yeah.
It's almost like, I don't want to show these niggas
I'm weak. Yeah.
How do you deal with it?
Yeah.
What's your method?
Well,
or have you, like, what is your, I know you personally, and you've been in a lot of situations where you've dealt with a lot of people that you were incompatible with. I think that's the best way to put it. And I'm
gonna lay it all out.
You've been in situations where you looked really bad. You know what I mean? And they looked really bad. But none of this has ever been about physicality. It's always been a mental game in relationship. And I've watched a lot of your relationships, and I'm curious to know how you have like analyzed those situations. Like, what do you think a lot of the root of these things were coming from? Like, who were you? Is it the same person? Do you think that was there a psychological thing that led from either side? Like, you've been in a lot of situations where some fucked up shit happened.
Yeah.
To an extreme. Mm-hmm. And I'll let you get into that, but I'm interested to know, like,
don't forget your question too, because I might forget the actual question.
Well, just how do you deal with that today? Like, you've gotten to a point now where you're in a pretty healthy relationship. So you've gotten through all of this to come to this point to where now you can be happy with someone. That's a journey. That's not something that just, you didn't just find the right girl. That's something you had to be at the right place to be able to be in the situation, So how did you get there?
I think, for one, before I even get to that, like, being in a relationship with somebody that's depressed or even has, like, been diagnosed with depression, I feel like whether you're a man or a woman, it's certain verbiage that you shouldn't use even when talking to people. Like, that you reference how women tell guys like be a man, be this. If women knew what their fathers did at our age, you wouldn't be able to call anybody a man. Like everybody does fucked up shit. And there's guys out here that really try to do their best with whatever they been taught. Some guys ain't really been taught shit. They going about it the best that they can. So, and it's easy to judge something you don't understand. That's what I've learned that over the years. It's easy for. I've been called all types of shit. It never really affected me because, like I said, when you talk about understanding yourself, getting to know yourself, knowing who you are, not really hearing what people say about me affected me because being depressed, I've said everything that you possibly can say already about myself, to myself. I've said all these things. I've said, yo, you're fucking crazy. You're a lunatic. Bro, you're losing it, bro. Like, what are you doing? So when anybody else says this to me, it's like, all right, whatever. Like, I'll handle that. But with my relationships or even like friendships, I feel like what I've gotten out of it really is you can't expect people to understand what exactly you're going through. You can tell people what you go through, but at the end of the day, you still have to go through that door yourself. It's never going to be somebody there for you to help you get totally through that wall, that mountain, that door. You can go to a therapist. You can talk to a therapist. But for me personally, when I went to therapy, like I talked to a therapist and the shit it started to scare me. Like, what the fuck? I started to know too much about myself. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I started to know too much shit. I'm like, bro,
it strips you down.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. Walked away from that shit. But yeah, I've been through a lot of shit, bro. Like I've seen a lot. And just to make it a little bit funny, like as much as I've been through, like being depressed and shit, I'm not even my full self. Like I've been around a lot of dope ass niggas. Pause. Like I've been around dope people. I've been around dope women. Fucked a lot of dope girls. Like I've been around dope shit. Like just to make it funny, you guys. Like I'm not even 100% myself, and I'm doing the shit that I do now. Right. So I look at the good of that, and I could just see, like, even when I walked in here today, I could just see, like, bro, like it's time to start new. Like it's time to start fresh, bro. Like you gotta shake that shit. So yeah, as far as handling it, is you gotta reach that point to where you don't want to be in it for that long. Because I've never really handled it. It's funny that you asked me that. You see, like, you know, I've gotten to this point. I've never handled it. Yeah, I'm in a space now, but it's not a good space. I still to this day hurt the girl that I'm with. Like I still do it. Not intentionally, but because I'm hurting, I hurt her in the process. Like hurt people do hurt people. That it is a fact. Cause you even with friends, you love your friends, you love your family, you love whatever companion you're with. But at the end of the day, that them battles that you've dealt with for years, it's no stopping how that shit comes out when you angry, when you frustrated. It'll come out however. Just like you said, you pessimist, whatever. Like people gonna feel what you feel when you down. Yeah. No, you can't prevent that. They have to feel you, and that's my thing. Like when I'm depressed, I'm super narcissistic, bro. Like if you hurt me, bro, you have to feel it. Like you have to feel how I feel. That's the only way that I can tell you. Cause I don't always, for me personally, I've never always told people like. And I'm sure y'all can relate. I've never always told people like, yo, that shit right there, that fucking hurt. Yeah. That shit right there. And that's the thing, like, I'm 25. Yeah. I'm 25. I have not sat there and said, yo, what you just said to me, that shit fucking hurt. And just quiet. And let them process what they did. I've always went right back. Like, fuck you, blah, 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 blah. I said the most crazy shit.
Yeah.
But it's worse for me, though, because like I said, being narcissistic, I know being around somebody that long, I know what gets to you. Mm-hmm. I know what I can say to you that affects you. So I'm going to say that shit to you 10 times worse.
Yeah, activate that spite.
Not even meaning anything I say. I know I don't want to hurt that person, but because I'm hurt, you gotta feel me.
So everybody in my vicinity gotta go.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta feel me. So,
you know, I had a conversation recently. I want to bring it up because I thought that
please.
It was a point with that. It's a friend of mine, a good friend of mine that I had. You know, we've just grown as niggas. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I haven't talked to him in a while, and he posted something on Instagram and I responded to it, and it was something about lyrics. I'm not going to get into that deeply, but it was about respecting the people that you love and their decisions. And my view on, like, man, you know, I was just telling him, like, man, I came to that point myself, like by myself, like on my own. I came to a point where it was like, the people around you are going to do a lot of things that you're not going to agree with. Mm-hmm. And they're going to do things against you. They're going to do things without you. They're going to do things, you know, a lot of situations going to come up with someone that you care about where they're going to do something. You're going to feel like, damn, like, you don't care about me.
Right.
You know, and sometimes people have to do what they have to do for themselves.
Right.
And I was having this conversation with him about that, saying, like, I came to that point myself with someone that I love and respect, and it opened my eyes to everyone that I love and respect. Mm-hmm. Because I love this person so much that I had to let them do what they had to do, so that, you know, so they can move on, so they can move forward and be a better them. Mm-hmm. And so that, you know, and in that way, it helped me also. You know, it didn't just help that person, it helped me. And it also it affected my friendships and my other relationships, because it made me look at everyone like going, like, you know, everyone that I had a problem with, or everyone that I had a little beef with or anything, it was like, yo, man, everybody is living this life. You're alive.
Yeah.
Everyone's alive. Like, everyone's living a story. Everyone's going through their own shit. And it made me way more, you know, there's those moments of clarity where I get like way more receptive of that. And it changed the way that it changed all my relationships. Yeah. It changed my relationships. It changed my tolerance. And as a man, like, we started talking about relationships earlier, it changed the way that I treat women. Yeah. It completely changed the way I treat women. Like, there's a lot of, like, I'll give an example. And I hope that I don't sound like I'm going off topic, but this is connected. Like, there's women that would, you know, want to have sex with me. Yeah. Right? They want to fuck. And I want to have sex with them too. but I know that I don't want anything else. Yeah. And I know that they do. Yeah. I know that if I offered it, they'd be like, yes, let's be together. Like, they're with the shits. But they want to have sex with me just because they don't want me to go away. You know, they want me to be closer. And that made me step back from those situations. Anytime a girl just wants to fuck, I have to really like the girl. Yeah. I'm at that place in my life now where I have to really like you. I have to be okay with you waking up next to me tomorrow morning. Mm-hmm. Because, like, I don't know if it's because I'm getting too old for that shit or whatever, but it's like that in itself, to me, that's a bad way of treating a person.
It gets boring after a while, like, just fucking the fuck. Like, sometimes it's when we're young, it's fun.
Sometimes, but, like, I'm not saying completely stop it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying every person that you have sex with should be a potential wife. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that, but
that's
I'm just
wifey.
Saying, right? Like that. If I fuck her, she's wife. Like, that's it. Like, we together. Like, no, like, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, fuck with somebody you really like, not somebody that you think looks good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like,
if you don't want to become that person, you definitely shouldn't be doing no shit like that with.
We had a conversation a while ago and we were talking about, like, you know, I don't know if it ever made it on the episode, I can't remember, but we were talking about being in a relationship and liking pictures, like liking girls' pictures when you're in a relationship, or like vice versa and shit like that. Yeah. And I remember, I don't think I said it on the episode, but I remember when I had that conversation with a girl and my response was, you know, and I know this is gonna sound like some scumbag, like, this is gonna sound like a lie. Like, it's gonna sound like some bullshit, but like I've really meant it. I really meant it. I really mean it to this day. Where it's like I like how that person looks.
Yeah.
But I don't like that person. I don't like that girl.
Yeah.
I like how they look.
Their appearance.
I like the photo.
Yeah.
I like how they look.
Yeah.
I'm not. If I met, like, you know what I mean? I've met these girls. I met a lot of these girls they're not cool. They're not cool people. Yeah. They look great, but that's it. And the place where I'm at in my mind now, where I don't want to just fuck you because you look good. It's a level of maturity, and it's something that, it coincides with a lot of things that are going on in society today, where I think men are waking up to a lot of the shit that we do, a lot of ways that we've treated women. All of us in this room, and I think every man I've ever known has treated women, except for my father. My father, I've never experienced my father treating a woman like shit. But anyway, that's what I'm like, where did I get this from? But like like, you know,
ready to blame dad.
But a lot of niggas' dads is the reason. I know a lot of niggas' dads. It's like that's exactly what
dad,
you got.
I love you, dad, but look, hey, look. I learned from somewhere. Shit.
But I mean, I just know I didn't learn from my dad. I learned from other niggas. You know what I'm saying? I grew up around a lot of other niggas that were a certain way, but it made me go, damn, I'm glad that I'm maturing at this rate, because I don't get affected by what's going on in the world. Like, I get affected by what's going on in my life.
Bro, I look at it like that age shit. I look at it like, because I would rather be going through all this shit now.
Yeah.
Than when I'm like old as hell.
Oh, hell yeah. When it's almost damn near too late.
Yeah,
you can't even fuck
bro.
for real. You ain't even fucking for real.
I'd rather be going through this shit now, bro.
I'm glad I'm going with it now. Because, you know, I feel it's also like my circle has changed a lot, where there was a point in time in my life where I viewed women as meat. You see? Nah, but I like it, like to that, like really like that, where it's just like sexual objects. Like I'm hitting that.
Yeah.
Like hitting that it's like a crazy hit that. Like that. Like not her.
Like you gain a stripe or something.
I know I know I'm sounding mad like you know, I know what I sound like, but I'm just being that's real shit. Like I really got to a point in place in my mind where I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm not about to fuck bitches that I don't like bitches, but after everything I said. But I'm not about to fuck girls that I'm not about to fuck a girl that I don't like. Like I like the girl in high school. Like when you like a girl in high school, you get up, you wash your face different. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get dressed different. Yeah. You move, you wake up, like you got out of bed, you ain't need your alarm. Like when you like, I can't wait to go to school.
Make sure your breath smells like
Shorty gonna see me.
Yeah.
Just so that she can see you. Just so she can recognize you for 5 minutes. You moved it like that when you
practicing all the lines.
You like that.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
It got to a point where I had self-reflection moment. I looked at myself and said, when was the last time I liked a girl? Like really liked the girl. And of course, you know, every girl that I've ever been with, all my girl, I like them like that. But when you're single and you get into future mode, well, I'm a savage. I'm just anything flying, I'm catching
it. Yeah.
And then you take a moment where you like,
what are niggas what are niggas going through though? That's even going back to what we were talking about.
I've tried to. Fucking was my way out of a lot of mental situations.
Exactly.
Because I would just, and not even that, I would get myself into drama to ignore my own issues.
Bro. It'd be to a point where even with fucking, like, I would think that, like, I had an issue. Like, I thought I was addicted
like
to this
sex
shit.
Addict.
But it was like, I'm not. It's just that's what I use to try to harbor those feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a total mask, bro. And like you said this earlier, like that, the sex, food, all that, none of that helps.
It doesn't solve the problem.
None of that helps. You got to address that shit head on. And the sooner we get to doing that type shit, we gonna grow.
It could definitely, those things, just like alcohol, just like drugs, those things definitely will make you forget about it for a second.
Of course,
definitely move it out the way for a second. But that's the problem. It just does it for a second. Then when it's over, it all comes back, and now you need to get another hit.
And you asked me, like, even with like a lot of my like relationships, I don't really remember too much about them. That's really the craziest part. It's not like on some,
you
like,
don't remember. Like,
I don't really remember like
Like you don't remember like situations,
specific parts that like I only remember like a lot of bad shit.
That's
I don't
crazy.
remember like a lot of good things.
But that says a lot about the mental space you was in at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but don't get me wrong though. It was always good things because I wouldn't like be around a person for that long to not have good moments with them. But the bad always outweighed the good to the point where I'm here now and I don't even remember any of that shit. I only remember bad things with certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I had the issue with a lot of relationships that I've been in because I'm a person where I've always held the good in a lot of weight.
Yeah.
But most people think like you where they're like, nah, I just remember the bad shit because you know what I mean? Because I mean, the bad shit is the most colorful.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be real. The bad shit there's way more to talk about the bad shit.
Yeah.
The good shit, like, man, that was a great time.
Yeah.
And you because the good shit was all emotion. The bad shit was like, well, the bad shit's emotion too, but it was more.
It's regular. It's good. It's just
you bust a move when the bad shit happens. Like things happen. Like you had to be a certain place.
It's more destructive.
It's
like,
trauma.
It's
a form of trauma.
Yeah.
You don't get trauma from good shit.
Yeah.
And that's why it affects you more. And
it's like a high. Honestly, it's like a high.
Yeah.
It's really like a high. You get caught up in it. And you don't know when to let go of it.
But that's all right, we about to get crazy. That's a part of it. That's a part of like that primal human shit, bro. Like gladiator why was that? Like why? Like think about the sports that we're into. Think about all the shit that we like. Like nigga, I watched that fucking the Adrian Broner Pacquiao fight the other day.
Oh fuck my!
And I'm just like,
God, bro.
But I'm watching it and I'm enjoying it. But at the same time, I'm like, why do I like this so much? Why do I like seeing men beat each other the fuck up? Why is war so interesting? Why are weapons so cool? Why is
competitive nature?
Why is violence why is violence sell like the way it does? Why, you know what I'm saying? Like I watch a fight comp before I watch a love comp.
Yeah.
If a love comp even exists. Like, you know what I mean? You feel me? Like it's crazy. Like
love
it's that
comp?
human thick. That's wild. I just invented that. So give me my Soldier Boy kudos.
Love comp.
We should make
just mad walks in the park.
We should just find mad love clips and just make a comp of it. Yeah,
walking.
Here goes your new love comp, niggas kissing and shit. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Pause. But
pause. Super pause.
I meant niggas kissing. Bitches,
Yeah.
Nah, like that shit. I mean, I'm free love. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No
love,
disrespect,
you know
but pause.
I just don't want to see you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so. That got to a bad place. But anyway, yeah, like it goes back to that, like the fact that we dwell on the bad so much. It's because of it's really a part of who we are. It's
That's
really,
me.
but it's really a part of who we are as a species.
Yeah.
Like we all like it. We all like it. Yo, think about when some drama all the reality shows are about drama. All the reality shows are about drama. They literally create dramatic situations to get you to watch. Of course. Like that's what blows my mind about like love and hip hop, because I feel like half of those relationships, or if not a quarter of those relationships, are good relationships, but they have to make a problem for the show.
Bro, even look at Love and Hip Hop. All them reality shows, we laugh at people's trauma,
And issues and
real
shit that they do
trauma. Rather, it might be, staged sort of, but these people really go through these things. They have they get pregnant by people and actually have real babies. It's real life trauma.
Look at entertainment, bro.
It's not, and we looked at it as entertainment.
Look at that shit.
Like, I don't want to keep bringing my mom into it,
but
no, I don't want to keep bringing my mom into it. But my mom likes, even women in general, you like to come home
and watch some ratchet shit
and just watch.
My mom literally comes home and be like, and throw it on. I'm like, what, you watching it?
So you know this shit.
She's like, I like watching my ratchets.
You know this shit.
That's literally what she calls the shows. My ratchets. That means Love and Hip Hop. That means Housewives. That means all those shows. All those shows. Anything with ratchet shit going on. I gotta watch my ratchets. I'm like, damn, like, but I get it. But my question is like, what will people watch if all of that went away? Nothing. People aren't watching. People aren't gonna watch TV. You do realize that when Netflix and shit came, and reality TV shows existed before Netflix and shit, but like you do realize that reality TV is the only thing that's keeping cable TV alive,
right?
Like the moment that Love and Hip Hop and all that shit is available on like a streaming service. It's a like fuck TV.
Everything else we don't even need TV for.
Huh?
The weather.
What are we watching TV for?
We don't need TV for that.
We're only people are really only watching TV for those live events, those things that bring you there. It's a crazy hold on the market, but it's built off of but it's built off of that, like put people against each other, put people against each other.
That too, but all of these things, whether it be the we talking about the boxing shit, whether it be the ratchet TV, all the killing and shit on the news, that shit is not put there to bring people together. It's none of it. It's not none of that the ratchet shit you laughing at people's trauma. None of that is to bring you closer to yourself and you know, allow you to understand yourself better. Because people laugh at other people's trauma, but then that shit turns off, and you gotta look at yourself getting slapped by your husband or some shit. Or you gotta look at yourself when your daughter is out all nights in a day and shit. You don't know where your daughter's at, or your son just got shot because he was gangbanging and you got off work at 11 o'clock at night. You wasn't home all day. It's so deep, bro. Like that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm tired of it, bro. I wish I had like fucking Diddy money so I can like build some shit.
Yeah.
Like just do some shit. I'm really to a point where like I'm just ready to like be that fucking vessel, bro. Like I've been through too much to even be masking this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Been through too much. Like it's I'm trying to live this shit now. I'm trying to live this shit, help people, bro. Like what else am I here for? People have these voices, you have these experiences that people go through, whether you're an artist, whether you're a painter, whether you fucking make shit. You should be doing something to put it back into the universe. People just sit around and mope, and I've been that person. If anybody ever wondered, you know, where's Shaq been at? Where's Shaq been?
That's a big reason why the show wasn't operating for a long time.
Everybody's just living their own shit. We all, and I could be the first to attest to that. Y'all, Tyler on his, you know, doing his thing. You feel me? But I know for me personally, I was going through shit.
Me too.
Through shit.
I was too, bro.
Seriously.
I had 2 mental breakdowns.
I believe you. I believe you.
I had 2 mental breakdowns.
I believe you. But like I said, this
and even on top of that, I have love around me.
Yeah.
I know there's people in my life that love me.
Yeah.
I think that we all have that.
Yeah.
We all have people around us that love us, that care, that give us. It's not about, and it's crazy because it's not even about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about like, because there was a point in time where I didn't feel that.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, nobody gives
a fuck.
And then I can't use that excuse, but I feel what I feel still. And I'm like, I had a moment, I'll talk about this on camera. I had a moment a week or two ago. Random. I was fine. Nothing was wrong. Everything was fine. I'm in my bed. I'm watching You on Netflix. And You, the TV show, the Netflix show. No, not You. Pause. Nigga looked at me like, whoa.
Shit, I wish one of us was on Netflix.
That's crazy. No, but I was watching the show You. Y'all never heard that show?
Nah, I heard it. I ain't never heard of it.
Shit's crazy.
I never watched it, but I heard it.
Watch it. Trust me. Anyway, I'm watching it, and I don't know if the show affected me, but I don't think it did because I watched way worse shit than this show. It's not that bad at all. But I'm watching it, and I remember, I want to pretense it before I say what I say. I never claimed to have depression. I've never claimed to have clinical depression. For one, because I've never been clinically diagnosed. I have gone to the doctor. Doctors have tried to put me on medication because they were like, yo, you're depressed. And I'm like, I'm good. And I just didn't do it. And I remember speaking to someone that does have clinical depression, has battled it their entire life, and has a crazy story. I'm not going to tell their story on camera because it's very personal, and maybe one day they'll do it, but it's an insane, like, whoa story. And I remember them describing what depression is to them, and they were like, when I have an episode, colors get dim. And I was like, wait, huh? Like, yeah, like colors don't have their saturation like they usually do. Like everything kind of gets blah, And I'm like, that was the first time I ever heard that. And I was like, okay, that just reassured to me, like, oh, then I've never been depressed. Little I know there's different types of depression, but I was like, oh, that's never happened to me. So I can't come out here and be like, oh, I'm depressed. Like I never, The other night I'm sitting in my room and I'm watching the show and the colors dim to like, you playing with like camera editing and you turn the saturation down a little bit. That happened. And I'm like, and then I remember having thoughts of like, well, I'm even here. Mind you, I've never been suicidal in my entire life. Never been suicidal in my entire life. Never claimed to be. I've never been suicidal. But this moment, I was like, what's the point of life? It's a common question. You hear people say that shit all the time, but for the first time, really, it wasn't a question I asked myself. It was a feeling. It was a feeling of, why are you here, yo? What do you look like? What are you doing? Like, even if you succeed at what you want to succeed at, what is the point? Even if you get everything that you want.
Yeah.
You're going to die. And then what? And thank God I'm emotionally intelligent. I called someone. I was like, yo, like, what are you doing? Just talking. I mean, we chopped it up. And I didn't tell them until the next day why I called them. But it was a moment for me where I was like, wow, people feel that all the time. Jesus Christ. That shit it freaked me out. To this day, it freaked me out. Because I never experienced that type of depression. I've experienced depression where I was just upset. I think that's where I was just upset. I just wasn't, fulfilled. I didn't feel fulfillment in life. So I just felt like, I'm missing pieces and I'm trying to fill them in. This was different. This had nothing to do with anything. There was nothing wrong with me. I was fine. I was doing great. Everything was going good. I think I just made a song. Like if you know me, when I make a record and I like it, ain't nothing going bad today. A great day. I was doing great. I was comfortable. It was nighttime. I'm watching a show that I like. And it was just like, yo, what's the point? Yo, what? Huh? What are you doing? Why are you alive? Why does anyone live? Yeah. It was like that. It was like, because when I think like that, and it's funny because I've had those thoughts since I was a kid. Not the dark part,
but just the wondering thought of like, why. Like,
yo, what's the point? Yeah. When you have like that, you go through like that universe journey. I don't know if anyone else has viewed it like this. But
when
like,
you die, what happens?
You ever try to scale in your mind, like, okay, like we're on Earth. Zoom out. That's the solar system. Zoom out.
Yeah, I've done that. Yeah.
Zoom out. Zoom out. And you're zooming out in your head.
Where does it end?
Yeah, where are we? Who am I? What's the point? And then you do like, okay, when I die, what happens? Like, whoa, one day I'm gonna die. One day everything I know is gonna be over
forever.
And I'm not even gonna. What if I don't know? What if I'm not even conscious of it? What if like I just end? Like, what is it? Like, and you get that pit in your chest, and you get that pit in your stomach where you're like, holy shit, like, huh? Like, what's the point? As a kid, that happened to me. It was scared the shit out of me as a kid. As an adult, it's just like, I don't know. Like, fuck it, right? And you just keep going. And then that was that one night where I was like, yo, but for real though. And that was what bothered me. That's when everything got dim. And that was the moment where I was like, wow, I think that was my first like real depressive episode. That was the first time because I've never thought about life in that ultimatum of like, yo, what's the point? I've dealt with a lot of people having that. I've spoken to a lot of people that have come to me and been like, yo, like, this is how I feel. And I'm just like, man, like, everyone's here, like everything is what you know.
Nigga making me really try and go in.
No, I'm just saying, I mean, it just, you opened up, that's literally, I mean, you go there, people go there. Like everyone, I feel like everyone's gone there. Everyone's gone to that point in their head. And I know a lot of people that are religious and they find a solace in that. They find a peace in that. Like going like, there's a kingdom after, there's a good place, there's a bad place, there's something after this. They believe in an afterlife. Me personally, I don't necessarily believe in an afterlife because I don't have proof of an afterlife. I define it, I'm an agnostic. So it's like, I need to see it to know. Like I need to, okay. Like, okay. Like, you know what I mean? How far away is it? Like, where is it? Where do we go? How do we measure it? I know that I'll probably never get those answers, but that's why I don't believe in it. I don't necessarily believe that there's nothing, but I don't know what there is. My answer is I don't know. So for me to ask that question, I don't have that like, oh, well, there's heaven. I'm jealous. I'm envious of someone that believes in heaven. I'm so envious. They're like, man, I pray. Damn, you believe that shit. Like, fire. That's fire. You know, you can go to sleep at night and not think like, man, what if there's nothing? I know people have doubt, but ultimately they truly believe in an afterlife. For someone that doesn't believe in an afterlife, when you get to that thought, oh man, holy shit. That's a dark place. It's literally a dark place because you're like, nothing. There's nothing, right? Yeah. There either has to be something or there's nothing. And if there is something, what is it? Which one is right? How am I gonna know? As a man that's into fact, not faith. I think I fed enough.
This nigga feeding me. Pause, man. Damn. For me, and I guess I'll kind of be like, God damn. For me, like, I have been diagnosed with depression, and I think the situation that got me there, it helped me realize a lot. I didn't think I would plan on talking about it publicly, but I feel like it'd be a contradiction for me to bring us this far.
I thought that was I knew it was gonna eventually
and not speak on that because I know it'll help, and I don't want to hide from that shit anymore. But for me, not to like tell a whole story, but just long story long, like
long.
Yeah, long story short. A girl I was with, she basically fucked around on me with somebody that lived around the corner from me. Now, people that know me, they know I'm like pretty popular in the neighborhood that I'm from. So after that shit happened, like I really felt I wouldn't say embarrassed, but I felt like I wasn't who I was anymore. Like I lost my rings, my Thanos stones and shit. Like I lost my power. After that, I never like was with a person that cheated on me and like stayed with them. I always was like, if somebody cheats, I'm always gonna like leave them because I know I can't personally handle that shit. Yeah. This specific time, I tried to stick that out because I also did things in the past. So it got to a point where I tried so much that it drove me to a place where I no longer wanted to be here. Like to the point where I was literally suicidal. I didn't like try to like fucking blow my brains out or anything, but like I knew that I was suicidal. I've been fucking strapped in a fucking ambulance, like no way out, like forced to be in that motherfucker. I've been in a psych ward for having to be there because on a judge's permission because I'm quote unquote suicidal. Never took medication. I've been diagnosed, but I have never took medication. A doctor has never prescribed me medication. So even looking at that, I realized that I have shit that I go through, but only I can fix it. That's how I look at it. Only I can fix it. A doctor is not going to fix it. Medication is not here to fix it. You have to be able to be a man, no pun intended, and fix it. You can't blame nobody else. I've been in rooms that I was locked into. Like, I couldn't get out. I've been in rooms where, like, a doctor had to come in every 15 minutes to check on you, like, to make sure you're alive because people kill themselves in those rooms. So I've been there, like, and this people, I'm saying these things to people, and people gonna see this shit, and they not even gonna believe, like, Shaq, like, this is what Shaq.
Be surprised.
Yeah, like, I've been through some shit. It might not look like it, but I've been through some shit. And I don't know. I think just later on, like having the decency to go back and like even like express the shit, I just see 1,000 of me's. I see 10,000 of me's. I see like 100,000 millions of me's. And like for anybody that like they feel like they're not understood or don't understand people, like anybody that like you see, because people put everything on social media. Anybody that you see that, you know, they might feel down or like say some shit that down, those are people that you should hold close. Those are people that, you know, you should talk to the most.
Yeah.
Because we all want to feel like somebody relates to us at the end of the day. We all want to feel like somebody knows what we're going through. I know for me at least, that's all I ever wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've felt like I was the only person to ever go through shit that I went through. I still don't know. I haven't talked to nobody that has been through shit that I've been through, but I know there is somebody out there that has. But yeah, man, I never thought I would talk about this shit on camera, but like it's no reason that it's no reason to really hide from this shit anymore. I don't really have nothing to be ashamed of. I'm still gonna be the same person I am. I'm still gonna wake up and still be that live ass person. But I look at those experiences, it molded me into, and it still molded me into like something way bigger. I'm just a vessel in this body. Like I plan on like being something for somebody else. So when I'm no longer here, I can help somebody else or a group of people. Yeah. It's not even about me. Like all these years, not wanting to talk about shit, not wanting to say certain things, like it was because it was personal. It was about me. I don't really care anymore. So I mean, anything that I've said today, I just hope that it could help somebody. Like I'm always open to any questions anybody has for me, with anything. Like honestly, so.
I appreciate you opening up about that and bringing it up.
Yeah.
I appreciate you talking about that shit. I know that's a it's an important part of your life.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I'm glad you brought this topic up today. I think it was time. You know, we held, like you said, we had this for a long. We had this for a year.
We avoided that shit.
We held it in there because we knew we wanted to really, we had to deal with it ourselves, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that we talked about it, and we'll probably be talking about it
more
throughout, because it is a ongoing thing, and it's good, it's healthy. I think today was a very healthy conversation. Yeah, I'm glad we had it.
And if we haven't tapped anything in that realm, like feel free to shoot anybody like a DM or whatever. Like we could talk about whatever we didn't get to address.
100%. We are here. Yeah. We're not just behind the glass. We're all people, like I said. So talk to somebody. Not us, talk to somebody.
Please.
I know everybody's going through some shit. So you know what I'm saying? Just make sure you're just seeing it as important. I think that's just the most important thing. Just seeing it as important, not something that's like, just brush it off, like whatever. But I think it's a good place for us to end.
Yeah,
that was a good conversation. Hold on, eager. Whoa,
you gotta end this shit clean, bro. We said a lot. We back though.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I'm glad that we came back and did this. I don't know when we're gonna drop another episode, but yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
Oh, fuck.
That's good.
Just like my father, mother, just like my father, mother, just like my father, just like my